In today's video, I am talking about mindset. So, what is mindset? Mindset is a person's way of thinking and the opinions which ultimately determines the way they respond to situations and how they interpret them. So, today's situation, I will be featuring two lovely honeys, one called Auntie and one called Sis. So Auntie has a growth mindset and Sis has a limiting belief mindset. And we are going to be talking through 5 or 6 topics of how they approach certain things. So let's get right into it.
I feel good!
Hello, my YouTube family. How are you guys doing? Hi there. You look good, honey. It's been a minute, but you're looking mighty fine, girl. Okay. Thank you for showing up. My name is Nombi Melelo, and this is the Show Up with Nombi, where we are learning how to love ourselves through showing up for ourselves, showing up for our goals. So if you are like me and you are tired of being stagnant and held crippled by fear, self-doubt, and procrastination, then honey, you have found your tribe. Stick around and we are going to dream, plan, and do together. All right, let's get right into it. Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce to you my two honeys, Sis and Auntie. So as I've mentioned, Sis over here has got a limiting belief mindset and Auntie over here has got a growth mindset. So we will be taking them through a series of rounds and looking at how they determine and respond to each one of them. So round one, let's get into it. Let us talk about beliefs. So Sis over here has a general belief that your capabilities and talents are limited, okay? They are what you have when you are born. And Sis also hates failure because failure means that you are not good enough, and you are not good enough doesn't mean you get better, because according to Sis, you are born with what you have and you make use of that. And generally she ain't about that failure life and she will avoid it as much as possible. While Auntie, on the other hand, does acknowledge that you do have talents, but talents do not automatically determine your success. It's through deliberate practice and consistently growing and overcoming those failures and trying again that you will ultimately see some level and point of growth in your life. Okay, round number 2. Let's get into how these lovely honeys view effort. So Sis, when it comes to effort, she is like, nope. If you are amazing and great, why do you have to try? Like, you don't have to try. So they do not believe in effort. They don't like effort. And they think it's only weaklings which have to actually put in some work and effort. If you are naturally talented, you just do something and you can do it well and stick to what you know and stick to what you can do. You don't have to actively try at something. And Auntie, on my other hand, Auntie is all about that life of effort. Auntie, for them, effort is a tool for them to get better. It's a tool they use to improve, because at the end of the day, if you are not trying hard and you are not trying past your current level of capabilities, how do you actually improve and get better? Round number 3, let's get into how these lovely ladies deal with challenges. Okay, so Sis is like, whoop, hold it. I don't want any challenges and I will avoid them as much as possible, because first of all, why would I want to put myself through that? Remember, for me as a Sis, when I show up for something, it will automatically, if I don't do well at it, it will be a determination of my self-worth. So challenges ultimately challenge my self-worth. And who would want to show up if you are going to go in a room and get your self-worth challenged and possibly fail at something, and which means you are a failure and you are not worth anything? So nope, absolutely avoid challenges. Not about that life. If you see a challenge, if you see this road will be challenging, avoid it by all means, because I'm not trying to do that to myself, honeys. And And on the other hand, you have got yourself an auntie. Auntie, on the other hand, embraces challenges and they learn from them and they grow from them. They understand that challenges are a natural part of life and they don't let challenges cripple them because it is what it is. You go through them and the best you can do is learn along the journey. Round number 4, we are getting into setbacks / mistakes. Well, sis is absolutely crippled by setbacks and mistakes because, like I've mentioned, your self-worth is on the line. So you are discouraged. She's absolutely discouraged by mistakes and setbacks because it means she is not good enough and she will never be good enough because she only has the level of skill that she has. So it cripples them and you are absolutely discouraged and you just don't wanna even face any future situations that might put you into the same boat. So you absolutely avoid any future situations which look similar to that one which resulted in a failure, because then again your self-worth will not be able to handle this. On the other hand, we have got auntie. So auntie views setbacks as a part of life. They overcome and grow through them, and all they can do is learn. They see them as an opportunity to learn and to kind of gauge what they went back at and how did they not do well and what they can do about that. So auntie was that girl who would actually go through the exam paper after you write the exam and trying to go through the work and see how they can get better. But also that could have easily been a sis, because you had the girl after the exam who would go through the paper, but she was not trying to get better. She was just trying to beat herself up for all the mistakes that she did and hate herself and eat herself into oblivion after that exam. So yeah, know the difference. Okay, round number 5. Round number 5, we are getting into feedback. So, sis, on this hand, hates feedback and avoids it and is very defensive when they do receive feedback. And they have a tendency to blame others for things that have happened. So they don't see feedback very well, they don't receive it very well, and they don't want it because, again, my self-worth is on the line. Why am I giving someone else the opportunity to give me feedback on my self-worth? If it's bad, I might not be able to handle it. So absolutely avoid feedback. While on the other hand, you've got yourself an auntie. An auntie will actively seek feedback and see opportunities of growth and learning in it. But at this point, I have to put a disclaimer because yes, aunties, you can go seek feedback from people, but not everyone will give you feedback that is positive. Sometimes you have got yourself a sis trying to give you feedback and they're just going to tell you, girl, give up. Girl, it's not worth it. You couldn't do it, so give up. Get over it. So feedback is good, but don't let the feedback taint your self-worth. Look at the learning opportunities from it and don't seek feedback from everyone, guys. Imagine. No, just don't do it. And the 6th and final round is around how these two individuals views the success of others. So sis, we can already see sis turning green. Okay, sis is constantly comparing herself with others, and the success of others kind of makes her feel shit, like crap, it makes her feel like crap, and they really get crippled and they don't want to even think about it. So the success of others is more like what they used to compare each other or compare themselves to how they're measuring up to other people. So if someone does something better than them, they kind of try and discredit that because it affects their self-worth. Because if that person is better than me, it means they'll always be better than me, because then I am limited to what I was born with or my natural talent. So I remember when I was a sis once, when I unfollowed a couple of ladies who were doing much better than me. And it was not from me trying to actually, take a break from that type of life and seeing others' accomplishments, but I was green with envy and I couldn't deal with it. So I was having a very limiting belief around those ladies' successes, and sometimes I would be so envious. I remember one lady started her channel and it ruined me because I was like, she beat me to the punch. she didn't even know we were in a competition. I didn't even know we were in a competition until I saw that. So yes, ladies, don't be a sis on this one, but I know it's one that's really hard. But on the other hand, you have got yourself an auntie. Auntie looks for growth and learning opportunities from other people's successes. So they are that girl who is rooting for you, genuinely rooting for you, and is inspired by your growth and is inspired by your success. So auntie is that girl who looks at someone else's situation and says, I look at how she was so consistent. Maybe I need to be more consistent in my work, and I might be able to kind of follow through like she was following through. So auntie generally looks at other people's success as like a general growth opportunity, an opportunity to learn from others. So ladies and gentlemen, that was it for our 6 rounds, and I think we know who won, and I think we know who will probably have more healthier relationships with people, healthier relationships with themselves, and healthier relationships with their goals. From where I'm standing, I think a growth mindset is one that you should cultivate more, because imagine, just based on those 6 things we went through, if you had a growth mindset, if you were an auntie, how will your relationships look like? How will you receive feedback from your partner? How will you approach failures with your partner? How will you approach mistakes? How will you talk through certain things? And in your work, in your goals, in your health, in your wealth, it could be so powerful to actually cultivate a growth mindset. And I'm going to give you 4 tips on how you can start cultivating a growth mindset. So how do you become an auntie? Okay, honeys. Okay, aunties. Are you ready to be an auntie? Let's get into it. So the first thing that I think is absolutely important to be an auntie in your life is, first of all, accept that you are not perfect, right? Accept that you are not perfect. I think that's the one thing that kills a lot of us women. We want to be absolutely perfect. We want to be everything and everyone at the same time, at the same place, at the same moment. I just want to be perfect. And that is not healthy. So firstly, accept that you're not perfect, and you will see mountains of improvement in how you look at yourself and how you value yourself, honeys. Okay, and number 2, reframe the perception of failure. I think you saw there was a general pattern of how these people viewed failure. Reframe what failure means to you. Reframe it as not as a negative thing, but as a thing that's part of life and a thing that you can learn from. So that's absolutely very important. And number 3, I think this one is powerful because it helps you gain momentum and keep momentum. Number 3 is focus on the process and not the end goal. Focus on the process. So be proud of the process and not just the end goal. Yes, have the end goal in mind, but the process is what matters. So the process will get you to a place of growing and learning, because if you fail, it's not the end. It's just the process of getting to your ultimate goal. So, yep. And number 4, self-awareness, self-awareness, self-awareness. Self-awareness is the first step to a lot of the things that we will speak about in this channel. Being able to actually have a constructive conversation with yourself and critically view yourself and understand how you approach situations, and being aware of your environment in a healthy manner, mind you, is going to be very important, because you will not be confused about certain things. So if you want to learn a little bit more about self-awareness, I think my video on the 6 pillars of self-esteem will really help. So check that out. I will leave a link below and you can watch that. So ladies, that is it. Okay, leave a comment down below and tell me if you are a sis or if you are an auntie. I can tell you, I am generally a sis with a little bit of auntie vibes in there, and I'm just trying to be a rich aunt, okay? I'm trying to be an aunt. So we are going to be going through this process of having a growth mindset together, and keep me posted on how it's going for you and share your tips with me, and we can come back and speak about it in another video. Maybe I'll even feature one of you. So guys, thank you so much for listening, and thank you so much for taking your time and spending it with little old me. Thank you, and please like. Was that my computer? Do I have to shoot that again? No. I'm not doing it. Thank you guys for actually being part of this video. Please like, subscribe, and share with your other aunties. Share with your sisters and say, auntie, you better catch up. I want you to be an auntie. So yes, ladies, thank you so much for joining me, and have a great one. Let us dream, plan, and do together, honeys. I will see you next time. Okay, bye.